Pleasure, mate. Quickly say good evening to all loyal sons and daughters, all firm craftsmen of her faith. And I quickly like Reverend Purdy to continue a conversation that started. It's quite focused on Carrie Fester. Now, I must say that I looked forward to Carrie Fester and anything that promotes um, the kind of unity amongst our Caribbean folk. And therefore, Carrie Festa, I went to my first Carrie Festa as a young wife in 1981. It was, if we look at the years from its inception when and on the occasions Barbados hosted. The first was in Guyana, 1972,
Correct.
started by the late Fort
Fox
Burnham,
Vernon.
the Prime Minister, who wanted to have an expression of vehicle, an avenue for the expression of the creatives in Guyana and bringing together Caribbean persons also. So that was in 1992. Barbados then hosted the second 9 years later in
81.
1981. I attended that. I remember going to Culloden Farm where near where the new National Insurance building is. And they had a tent set up there. We had a wonderful time. Then Barbados hosted the next one in 2017 when the Minister of Culture, Mr. Stephen Lashley, um, led it. And then now in August 2025, now, Pastor Ferdy, there's some consternation about have we bitten off more than we we could chew, and is it choking us? I would not in any way be a voice against Barbados's attempt to host um, Carrie Festa, but we are people of excellence. And what I am hearing and what I saw yesterday morning, I went to the second half of the gospel um, event just to hear my Jonathan Butler. Do forgive me, Pastor Ferdy. You
That's
are
okay.
one of my favorite male soloists, but Jonathan Butler is my most favoritist for years, decades now. And I went to hear my Jonathan Butler, got some hugs from him and some photo shoot, and he was very generous with his conversational time. So, but yesterday when I went, I was concerned of about the state of unreadiness. It was not at all ready. Yesterday, the seat should have been in place. Yes, there were all I should have seen would have been janitors and workers sweeping the floor, mopping, wiping off the seats. But there was a scurry of activity to get things ready, and the opening was on the Friday. No one is telling me this. I saw it at the village. The opening was on, was it Friday evening or Saturday evening?
Friday evening.
Friday evening. And don't tell me that by Sunday morning you were still doing, you see people, workers. I saw the minister responsible for culture, you know, meeting at that early time in morning. Yes, that is required, but obviously trying to pull things together. It was a state of untidiness. When I say untidiness, I'm not talking about untidiness in that way, but I'm thinking about untidiness and trying to do, you know, do things and make it give a semblance of order. Now, I am wondering, Pastor Ferdy, if you could you read that article quickly? And I wanted to find out for myself and for the ourselves here, how is Carrie Festa uh, hosted? How does the country get to host? Could you read that quickly for me? It isn't too long.
I certainly can. And I just want to make sure that you're hearing me.
Yes, please. And
Okay,
this
great.
comes from the CARICOM website. So please read it for us.
A country is chosen to host CARIFESTA through a process involving CARICOM leadership and a formal agreement. Prospective host nations must be members of CARICOM and be able to demonstrate the financial and logistical capacity to stage the event. The selection process. Number one, expression of interest. A CARICOM member state, based on a rotation system, can express interest in hosting the festival. Number two, strategic review. CARICOM institutions, including the Council for Human and Social Development and the Conference of Heads of Government, conduct a strategic review of the prospective host's capabilities. Number three, Heads of Government approval. The final decision is made by consensus among CARICOM heads of government who are responsible for the overall mandate of CARIFESTA. Number four, host country agreement. Once approved, the host country's government and the CARICOM Secretariat formally sign a host country agreement. This legally binds the host to organizing and funding the festival in partnership with CARICOM. How Barbados came to host CARIFESTA 15, a CARICOM mandate. The Caribbean Festival of Arts, CARIFESTA, is a mandate of the CARICOM heads of government established to celebrate the arts and foster Caribbean unity. Rotating host nation. The responsibility for hosting CARIFESTA is shared between the Caribbean community, CARICOM, its secretariat, and the host country, with the event held every 2 years in a different member state. Announcement of the host. On February the 28th,
Please, Reverend Ferdy, please
certainly,
pay attention to the announcement of the host. We're looking at a time frame.
yes, the time of the announcement and etc. Yes, ma'am. Announcement of the host. On February the 28th, 2024, the then CARICOM chair, Dr. Ifan Ali, announced at the closing press conference of the 46th regular meeting of the Conference of the Heads of Government of CARICOM in Georgetown, Guyana, that Barbados would host CARIFESTA 15. The official media launch for CARIFESTA 15 was held on June the 26th, 2025, in Barbados at the Lloyd Erskine Sandiford Center and was addressed by Carol Roberts, Festival Director and CEO of the National Cultural Foundation, or NCF. There was also a video presentation by Prime Minister Motley to build excitement for the festival on August the 22nd to the 31st, 2025.
Let's stop there.
Yes,
Go back up to that section, please, that talked about um, so persons who might think, oh, the prime minister again ran and put us in trouble and wants to, you know, show off or whatever and bring Calvary Festa here. We see that there is a
process.
system in place within CARICOM that facilitates who and when, not who and yes, the year, as well as the host country. So we're not arguing about that. And we do know that it was in February 2024 that Barbados was handed over and given the mandate for Carrie Festa. Festa. Why should we have been scrambling here in August while when the festival began and when it is happening? It does not look tidy. I keep coming back to that word tidy. We had time. But look again, were you aware of I kept the newspaper. I said, but we weren't hearing anything about Carrie Festa. There's no sign around to get us excited about Carrie Festa. And then the next time we hear anything public about Carrie Festa is on in the press on the 27th of June that the festival is happening. How low key for such a big CARICOM um, festival that attracts other persons internationally to the host country. And that does not sit very well at all. But I am saying that we have really been, and look who we are questioning, who is in charge. But according to the press, it calls Carol Roberts as the festival director, as as well as her capacity as CEO of NCF, because I've been searching to find out who is really in charge of. Last night we heard in-depth conversations on coordinating and what was needed for how to coordinate it well. You, Marcia, and Maxine spoke about that, but now I am wondering, beyond the coordinators, who was the director, the key giving the oversight? Was it Chantel Monroe, the Prime Minister's office? Who? With the secretariat? I searched and I think there's a secretariat in a private building somewhere in Belleville. No, Pastor Ferdinand, look at how busy we have been over the last couple of months, which split time and resources, manpower to deal with Carrie Festa at the level of excellence to which for which we are known. And I am looking here at some notes, and we could go back to regathering, starting with regathering. Regathering has taken up a lot of our time. We have had regathering in St. Lucie, St. Peter, St. Thomas, St. John, St. George, St. Philip, no St. Andrew. We need the manpower, the resources to do it. Up until this point, we don't even know what the Carry Festa budget is like. There is no budget for it. We had an idea of the budget for World Cup, where a quarter million went to buy some small red tents and some paint at Austin. But we don't know what is the Carry Festa assigned budget.
But Rose, my understanding last night, I think it was Marcia that mentioned something about that budget actually was incorporated into the Minister of Finance's projections when he laid the budget in Parliament. I myself have not been able to find it, but I think it was last night she made mention of that. So there's something there to do with the budget for it, but I'm unsure as to what that figure is. I've not found it yet myself, but I did
Yeah, I've
hear
been
about that.
searching.
Yeah, I
I've
did
been
hear about that.
searching. Something like that should have been shared, and we should know something as on such a large wise scale. We should know how much is spent. Now, then we had in July crop over a month after Carrie Festa was launched, the media launch by Carol Roberts taking the lead. We had crop over July to August the 5th. Again, resources, again, manpower to get in a state of readiness. Soon thereafter, just a couple of weeks or days after crop over, which finished on August the 5th, here we are now into Carry Festa. Poor, poor, poor Reiki planning, knowing too that we had the time from the beginning of 2024 to plan and to make sure everything is ready, if not everything, most of the preparation had was done. Then in this year, I'm talking about the calendar of events. We had the 48th Heads of Government CARICOM conference here in February. I believe, I don't know if it happened, but I believe if you had the heads of government from the CARICOM, whose countries would be participating in CARIFESTA, that opportunity should have been taken to take them to what would have been the CARIFESTA village and do all of those things. Did you hear, Pastor Ferdy, if those things were done
I did not.
during
I
and
did not.
after the heads of government meeting here in February? I'm not aware of it
I didn't
because
hear anything. It might have been, but I did not hear anything.
I didn't. And you know that I read and I keep my newspaper clippings and all of that. And on the heels of that, in June then, we had that press media launch about Carrie Fester. But in between there, we had the by-election. I put this on the national calendar of events. We had that by-election in St. James North on the 21st of May 2025, but we saw the hype and we saw the resources that went into that by-election. It was like a mini general election. And again, resources, manpower, um, efforts were directed from various sources, I believe, to promote that by election, another national calendar of events. Then we had the big BLP fed down um, East Coast Road with all the reggae artists and whoever. That again took resources, manpower, and it seems as though more planning went into the by election, went into the regathering, went into to the big fete down on East Coast Road than they would have dedicated to Carrie Festa. And in between there, the national calendar of events. We saw the cybercrime bill. We saw the events happening in Parliament. The cybercrime bill we had to be dealing with in February 2024. All the matters like the tint, all the matters like the recent interception of communication bill. All of these things have been coinciding and now Barbados is on the big stage, regional and international. We are getting last minute mopping up, last minute getting things right. Let me
Mhm.
give you one quick example before I go. And I know that I'm not about finding fault. I want excellence. We have the resources here. I want, however, to know that the monies are deployed. If you go, what will happen to that Carrie Festa village? Will it become and remain a site for for cultural activity? Um, we have over in the botanical gardens the Richard Stout Amphitheater where they're having activities. But what will happen? What will happen to that site that they scramble
To
to
put together.
excavate
Yep.
and put
Yep.
up so quickly? Will that
But
be
it,
money lost? Will the tents be taken down? Are the tents owned by the government, that big tent, or has it been rented? What will happen in that case? And
right,
these
right.
are things I want excellence. I want
These
when
are
people
questions to
leave
be answered.
Barbados, not
Yes.
only have they formed friendships, but they walk away amongst the creative fraternity, but they walk away saying, what a wonderful experience. Barbados is a model. Remember, Carrie Calm um, scrutinizes according to what we have read and,
Hmm.
and then signs off based on the host country's capabilities and capacities and resources and
Well,
finances to host it.
mhm.
And
Well,
so Barbados would have been ready for it when it was handed over the beginning of 2024. What went wrong? And I'm
mhm.
seeing, Pastor Ferdy, there is too much happening at too much. I'm not saying we can't multitask and have multiple activities happening, but each big activity beyond the by election that was pulled off,
Mhm.
quite well, and the event down at East Coast, and they're going to say I am making it partisan. But I am looking at models that came off without a hitch, and then what we would have experienced here at Cropover.
Rose,
Yes, I said it
these
was
guys got me
backstage.
crying.
Thank you. It was backstage listening, and it was so interesting, the various conversations about what's going on. And we have to keep our eyes on things and our fingers on the pulse so that things don't get further out of hand. We'll do our best. But I want to encourage persons to get out to Carry Fest. This is your festival. It's your money that's being spent. It's your money that
Go
you're
and
going
enjoy
to
it.
have to pay back. As I said, we went through to hear Jonathan Butler yesterday at the gospel. We passed back through last night and only for a short while at Pan Rhythm. It was packed out, Bajans like freeness. So they parked all the way down by the stadium. I walked in. And I must say the atmosphere is good. And that's what makes it. The people, the skills, the music, the drama, the storytelling, the creatives make it. Let's encourage it. Let's experience it. And I must say too, the atmosphere is good. The people atmosphere, the marshals, the the people on the ground. And I'm pleased to see a lot of young boys acting as marshals, and they were so kind and polite. And I asked one, you get him paid? And he gave me a look like, you think I'll be standing here and then pay me? Yeah, I get paid. So next time I go, I'm gonna ask how much,
Okay.
right? How much? But do get out, people. It is the people and the love from the people that those who've come to our show will take with them, and they will say, you know, Barbados is a good place. Let us deal later with the fowler bleeps and blunders, because they had enough time from the beginning of last year until now to be prepared and better prepared. So get out there, enjoy. And I intend to go to the Spooge and folk concert, but I got to pay for that one. But I'm going to get out and support the arts. So do the same, please. May let us be on the ground ambassadors and demonstrate what excellence is, although it is faulted at the level of directing it and coordinating it. Thank you very much, people. Good night.